We back. We back. We back. We back. We're in a raid right now. We're raiding out of our minds as we speak. We back. We're to do the dang thing. We're to do the dang thing. And put this bug to rest. Fill out our vault. Even though we filled it out by doing normal. I mean, really fill it out. Fill it out with the good fill. We're back. It's great to be back. Holy smokes. Damn near falling over myself trying to get friggin' live today. Staying late at work. Kitties needing all the food and attention in the world, and God bless them, they deserve it. Hotter than the blue blazes. Around here we call that the Indian summer. That's when it's hot like the summer, but in the fall. So that's fucking dreadful. Thankfully, since I wisely refilled my rig's cooling weeks ago now. But long-term viewers, old heads will know that over the summer, I had some overheating issues with my PC because, let's face it, running the game on max settings, watching YouTube videos, streaming on Twitch across 3 displays all at the same time, like, you know, that's not nothing as far as coggy load goes for a computer. My beast of a system is basically sitting at half capacity right now. It's like, yeah, doing those 3 things, that's taking a half of what I got, bud. So don't push me. Don't push me. It's okay. I feel that. I know the same way. Back here, let's get the fuck in Discord. What am I doing?
He said he
Let's get the blue blazes in Discord. What the hell?
It'd probably be, I'm stuck.
But anyway, I've had my computer for a few years now, and over the years, over a few hot summers, over the time of my liquid cooling system doing what it does best, cooling my computer, some of the coolant had evaporated. It's okay, I have plenty of coolant.
Some already set up.
But you know, I'm lazy. I don't want to like get down there and open up my PC and get the little squirter and screw off the finicky screw on the reservoir and carefully fill it back up. But I did. A few weeks ago, I was the bravest person who ever lived, and I did that. And that was awesome. And ever since then, my PC has been perfectly cool. In fact, real old heads know that I would have to take the air filters off my PC because I was so worried about it overheating. It turns out when you have a full reservoir of coolant, you can leave those filters on there. I took them off for today only because it's fucking 85 degrees at 7:30. Very unseasonably warm. But under typical fall conditions, it'd be fine to leave them on.
It's default.
Set it up.
Definitely not that for default. That's for damn sure.
Maybe it didn't have a default keybind yet.
They really got to make these cauldrons bigger, man. Like, I'm gonna keep saying it.
Oh, that's why I said it's G.
I'm gonna keep saying it. These cauldrons are too dang small. These cauldrons are too dang small. I want a big gulp. I want a jacuzzi tub. Man, I'm feeling my southernness today. I better talk slower. That's the real secret to the South. You just talk a little slower. I am from Tennessee on my mom's side, so I guess that part of me is feeling really ornery right now. I did get a chance to talk to my mom briefly. That was lovely. But yes, every conceivable obstacle in the world try to stop me from going live today. Including that it's going to have to be a short stream. This is probably going to end
Players at
around
what I
10.
would, I guess, call a kind
Disjoint.
of difficult.
Disjoint.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're
If
here.
the-
I'm
the
actually
third
going to
one's
mute
on.
the Discord for a second. So Disjoint, I did not notice that when you subbed the other day, that was a tier 3. Bro, you're my first tier 3. Like, you're my first tier 3. That's fucking insane, dude. And I wanted to make sure you were here. One, so I could acknowledge that I didn't, like, properly thank you in the moment. I just thought you and Savash both subscribed at the same time. I didn't realize you were, like, doing the big swinging boss hog sub. So, you know, direct to camera, genuinely, thank you. I have so much fun doing this, and having you here makes it even more fun. So very kind of you to support me in that way. That's huge. That's like 6 subs. That's insane. Thank you so much. And yeah, I wanted to make sure. Yeah. See, when you said that at the time, I thought you were talking about like going from a prime to a paid sub. I didn't realize you were like going huge. So I wanted to make sure that one, I properly venerated you, that I properly acknowledged your incredible extensive support. I'm going to turn Discord back on because I think my raid leader's doing some pre-raid stuff here. But another thing I'm going to do, is tier 1 subs get 250 meters. Tier 3 subs get 2,000 meters. So I actually have quite a bit of rowing thanks to you. Tier 1 subs are 250 meters. Tier 2 subs are 1K, and tier 3 subs like yours, that's 2K. So when I only put 500 on the board for you and Savash, again, because of my oversight, I undercounted the amount of meters that I owe the stream. So I will almost certainly be rowing those out on Wednesday for another Workout Wednesday stream. You're welcome to swing by if you like. But that was the other thing I had to make sure I corrected. Once I realized my mistake, I was like, okay, order of business. As soon as I go live and I see Disjoint in the chat, I have to properly let him know these 2 things. And a fun extra kicker thing, I am finally in connection with someone to make me some custom sub badges and emotes and stuff. It's the same person that does them for one of my favorite streamers already, so I'm really thrilled they want to work with me. And so yeah, there'll be some awesome emotes coming, including an exclusive Deke Whale emote for the tier 3 subbers like you. One of the first emotes that I had the idea for was the Deke Whale, basically a flying whale for all the very kind whales that support this stream. You with your tier 3 sub are my first tier 3, but there's also a very kind gentleman from another stream that I watch that has donated the most subs to my channel. So he would be another Deke Whale. And of course, Thunduz has been very generous with the gifted subs as well. Thunduz from Taliesin's channel. So he would be another example of a Deke Whale. So that's one of my first emote ideas. So we can venerate the whales in this community. And tier 3 subs will have a specific variant they have access to, just like Tally and the Disco Khadgars. So now that you've been properly looped in on all of the rewards coming your way, very glad you could be here. And thank you very much for your substantial material support. If you've heard me rant about politics, you know that's what I'm all about. Direct material support. Don't give me tax credits. Give me a check directly from the government. Don't, give it to me at the end of the year. Give it to me right now. Disjoint, you are making the heavens sing with your kindness. So, thank you. One step closer to being able to do this a lot more often. That's going to be a very important tipping point when I can reach a similar income on Twitch to what I make at my civilian job, which I'll just share. It's about $900 every 2 weeks. Like, that's not a lot. So if I can get Twitch to that same level, that'll be a very important inflection point. So yes, do your work stuff. I will likewise go to work on this heckin' pole. We're gonna pull this boss. We're gonna prog out of our mother-loving minds, brother. It's time. We progging. We're getting this tonight. I should use this volley sooner rather than later. I want to have volley up in 60 seconds. Instantly cancel that with disengage. I love being a hunter. My life is amazing. My life is a movie. I play World of Warcraft. It's the best movie in the world. The actual Warcraft movie I thought was kind of middling. I know some people really like it. And I like what it was trying to do. Like, I can appreciate the intention, but the Warcraft movie was never going to be better than the one I had in my own mind. And I am, unfortunately, that much of an egotist, where it's like, no, my movie ideas are cooler. The changes they made weren't as good as what I would have done, etc. Insufferable, but it can't be helped.
Webs in 5, pre-spread a little bit, and then collapse if you don't get the web.
Well, guess what? I got the web, but I can cancel it instantly, so I can just collapse, even though I got the web. Incredibly overpowered, by the way. It's so rare that being a hunter has a very specific, awesome benefit on a fight that I'm just giggling. I'm just giggling like a schoolgirl right now.
Yeah, next center up on back. Oh, yeah.
Having the best time in the world, actually being able to do something cool thanks to my class. Holy shit. It's been a while. And we got a few bodies on the floor, you know, people are struggling. Here they come. Not that way.
Yeah, we gotta get the last eggs. Here it comes.
I'm over here. No.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap, is
yeah,
called.
Parasites. So, do we have 2 worms in that group? I can't remember. Isn't there 2? What? Yeah, we gotta do that line. So there's no mark. Middle of that.
And then it's pretty much where my ping is. It's the first spot that we go. And then after the third spot, we do the last rig. Then we'll go over there. And then we do X, then star, and then the last 4 eggs. Then we go third platform. Then we do square, then triangle, and then the last 4 eggs.
And for those listening, I know it can be tough to hear. Like that was the off tank there talking.
You have to lay it.
That was
the. Die.
But that's the raid healer, right? You can tell that I've got the raid, the raid leader mixed up higher in Discord, so that most people, when they talk, their audio is below whatever I'm listening to, because then I can still hear them just fine. Because in casual conversations like this, I recognize my homies' names.
There is 2 worms.
Well,
there.
I recognize their voices. Excuse me. Well enough to be able to hear them, even if it's quieter than the music I'm listening to. But I also do that so I'm not distracted by them when we're actually doing the fight, because during the actual encounter, the only guy whose voice I want to hear clear as the day is the only voice you're hearing clear as day, my raid leader. Because nothing's going to be said to me by anyone else that's more important than what a raid leader has to say. Well, if any of them is like, hey Shadow, etc., I would recognize that that's the name they call me by, and I would recognize the sound of their voice. So, very bespoke audio mixing in this one instance. I know I'm normally both stupid and lazy and not able to fucking manage my tech or audio at all, and I stand on that. Like, yeah, that's me through and through. I got no apologies for that. When it comes to raid comms, and when it comes to how my audio is mixed when I'm raiding, I do take that pretty seriously. I do try to make sure that the audio space I'm in when I'm raiding has me fucking locked in. Because that's what's fun to me. I like being locked in this specific kind of content. Much better opener. Really feeling myself. Instantly breaking the web. Disengage the goated. Get to use my trinket. Oh my god. Topping the meters. What is happening? Yeah, I'm awake. I'm awake. I'm coming online. I'm awake.
What's good?
I'm Alan Wake. Now I'm wide awake. That song was a banger. Maybe we'll listen to it as an outro tonight.
Better web.
That'd be sick, dude. Imagine me playing Alan Wake on stream. A lot would have to happen on this stream for that to happen, but I'm not gonna lie. I do enjoy Remedy games. One of the very first Remedy games I ever played was the original Mad Max.
Web's coming.
Mad Max. Max Payne.
Web's inside.
Excuse me.
Stays to spread a little and then collapse.
But you know, Max was pretty mad. Max Payne, that is. He was pretty mad. For good reason. I actually was able to play and review Max Payne for the local newspaper at the time. I was but a wee teenager, and yet I was able to write video game reviews for the newspaper. Even then, I had opinions about games and I wanted to yap. And yap I did, in the local Old Gray Lady. So while I haven't played any of their newer iterations like Control or Alan Wake, I did really enjoy that song from Alan Wake.
One right in front of him and then the two further out each side.
I love being wide awake, is the point. Now I'm wide awake, okay? On that first pull, I was sleepy as hell.
Good. Stay.
I was a sleepy little boy. But I'm not a sleepy little boy anymore. Now I'm wide awake. Doing good damage. It's always a good sign when the raid leader DMs you directly and is like, hey, we're gonna try this kill with a smaller group. You wanna come? Like, sick. That's fucking awesome. I'm on the short list. Make sure you prior those worms. Yeah, makes sense.
Need to come on the opposite side.
Alright, great. So the next ones are gonna be here, and here, by X. And Z down on the other side.
Try to stand in the spirit or something.
It's probably a waste of a volley. I have come to realize. That was an unfortunate time to use my volley. I got a little bit less locked in there for just a second because I was listening to raid calls.
Ooh, don't overlap me.
And I was also taking feedback that I was not focusing the worm, which is an appropriate bit of feedback. I should have been focusing those worms. They will fuck our shit up. Speaking of worms, let's just kill that one before it bursts. Yeah, cool. Oh my god, we're so goated. Even more than I like doing well on the damage meters or otherwise performing well in an encounter, I really like it when I can be seen to be acting on feedback or instruction from the raid leader. Fucking love that shit.
Tail. The rest is kind of just in front of him in a triangle. Tail blue. Yep, good.
Like, by the same token, when it feels really good, the raid leader like
two worms needs
sends you a DM to invite you to the raid. It also feels really good to when you get a DM from the raid leader being like, hey, make sure you do X, Y, Z. It feels fucking awesome to just like, yeah, I got that unlocked, brother. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do the fuck out of that, bro. Holy shit, you got no idea. Looks like we got some bodies, so that's probably gonna be Probably gonna be all she wrote.
So there's going to be one in front, one on its tail, and the two on the side.
Okay. Looks like it's not gonna be all she wrote. Looks like we're gonna be giving it a shot. We're not giving in. We're living to win.
Right. Well, yep, good. Stay.
Yeah, no, I've got the answer to that. I'm probably gonna die. I'm probably seconds away from death here.
First in room. Yeah, person's cool.
I used every personal I got. That's it for me.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Is
Well,
my
that was looking clean. Yeah, just gotta make sure. Yeah, I think a lot of that damage was people standing in those purple swirlies that fall.
Purple swirlies are
Not me. I was dodging those.
the issue with that is we don't have any room and we have webs.
That's another thing that feels really good. When the raid leader does like, hey, I think a lot of people in the raid are fucking up in this certain way, and you can say to yourself, nah, man, I actually know that's not me. I know that my shit is fucking on lock.
And it's expanding now from where it's the smallest point, like the opposite side is where
That's kind of what makes doing the heroic raids fun for me, even though they're less fun than Mythic. They're just mechanically complex enough where at my skill level I can just like really fuck them up.
I saw everybody.
Whereas with Mythic raiding, especially as you get higher up in the dungeon, I will often find myself kind of at the limit of my physical skill. Like I felt that really strongly. Shadowlands. Yeah, on the Council of Blood.
It's barely gonna make
On
it
Mythic?
into the third section.
That's why
I think I did eventually get the Chivo.
What pugs do is they'll only do the first set of eggs, and then they'll just
Yeah.
kill the boss, 'cause it usually won't,
Oh no, I didn't.
like at 33.
Wow, okay, so yeah, I just was not there for our Council of Blood kill. That's how much I was struggling. You can see I've got all the other mythics from Nathria,
Right over to the second one. Are we
including
Red is
Sludgefist, I think.
spot.
Did I miss Sludgefist as well? Yeah, I guess I also missed out on Sludgefist. This was right as our guild was falling apart,
Like I would say, like cleave specs.
and I was struggling to meet the skill requirements for these fights. Well, with Council of Blood it was skill, with Sludgefist it was gear. I was not optimized. But with Council of Blood specifically, I was really struggling to mechanically execute that fight.
But I'm just talking about when we
It was a lot for me to keep track of. I was in the kick rotation. The dance was not the phase 2 dance where the whole raid does the dance, but like the actual dance mechanic where you had to pair up with somebody. Like, I hated that. Like, that's why I enjoy Mythic, because I will encounter fights that push me to the limit of my ability to play well. But I'm able to enjoy Heroic a lot, but just less than Mythic, but still a lot. Because it feels really good to just, like, crush a fight. Whoa, 1 second, 1 second full timer? That's fucking crazy. That's insane.
My screen.
The fights are more complex than normal, so they're less boring.
You think
But they're not
Showdown
as complex as
when you have
Mythic,
to
so you
debuff
can
those
kind of like
guys by
just
right.
fucking feel your shit. Like you aren't having to sacrifice DPS to move around. You aren't having to keep track of a million things. All you're doing is fucking rotating. All you're doing
Spread out
is
webs.
playing out of your mind.
Special coming.
AMC on his ass.
I think I would get bored if Heroic was the only option. It's just like a nice option besides Mythic. I enjoy doing both.
Okay, here we go.
And while I enjoy Mythic
one
more,
still, two other just out.
I enjoy them for different reasons.
Okay. This
Nope,
one,
nope,
this one,
nope.
this one.
Oh my god, oh my god.
Here. Oh no, don't move from that one. Move from. Just wipe it up.
Yeah. With a mechanic like that, it's really important to, if you know you're in the right spot, you need to just stick.
Like if you're on a correct egg, don't move from it.
Yeah. If
Like,
you're on one.
If you know you're doing the
yeah,
right
this
thing,
one's missing,
you gotta
don't-
stick.
don't move
You
to
can't
it. Like,
try and
unless you can
adjust.
see there's two.
If someone else
on
doesn't
it, but
adjust, that's not on
that'll
you.
typically just fuck
But you can
stuff
do
up.
exactly what we
Stay.
saw happen there. If you say, okay, they're not adjusting, I'll adjust. No, that's even worse. That's a really satisfying
Well,
thing about
also,
group
I almost
content
got
like
that
this,
pull
where
before
even
this
if
last
everything
one,
goes wrong,
so
you still have personal ownership
second section,
over
but
your own
regardless,
shit.
when we
You
only
can
use
still do
3
your
of
own
them,
shit correctly.
It's fine if 2 are by an 8, but try not to like overlap the other player, because that happened once to me and it almost killed me. So you obviously don't want to have 2 circles, you know, hit one player. Just have them on
That's
like
true, you
opposite
don't.
sides of the egg.
Give me a second. Alright.
Wait, checks up. Oh, that spicy brisket. That's why I got this milk ready to go.
Yeah, guys, for the worms, I'll always get the first interrupt. So you guys don't have to worry about that one. Except for the 2 set. Obviously, I can't get both of them.
Oh, did they promote Crow to main tank? That's fucking awesome. Congrats, Crow. That's fucking awesome. Not that Waz wasn't a good main tank. He's a fucking sick-ass tank. But I can tell that Crow's a lot more comfortable shot
Bed
calling
webs.
and like being a secondary raid leader, which it's sometimes useful to have a tank in that perspective if your raid leader is not.
Beat.
I also just realized that it is unfortunately time for a 90-second ad break. Hate to do this right in the middle of a pull. That's bad management,
Yeah, you
bad
get it.
ad management on
Right
my part,
the 2 others
and
down there.
I
Keep the one behind
accept
him
that it's
still.
not acceptable with me.
One behind him, rims. Yep, here we go.
I almost made the cardinal mistake myself.
We're behind him there.
The only reason why I was going to move there was I already had redundancy with somebody at my existing egg. In that situation, it did make sense for me if I saw no one moving there to use my movement and move.
Okay, webs in 5s, they spread a little bit.
Thankfully,
Collapse, you don't
somebody
get the
else
webs.
moved first. Oh yeah, we just
Okay.
re-entered the DPS zone. Having to do the mechanic kind of fucked up my rotation a little bit, put me behind on the deeps, but it's okay.
One
We're
on
catching
Stell,
up. We're catching
one-
up,
yep,
dude.
Good stay.
Raid leader says good. I love hearing that. I fucking love hearing that good from the raid leader.
There's not the parasites. The focus is more
And worm.
I don't have a stun for the worm. Be aware of that.
Alright, cool. Moving the boss.
Good job.
I only have a stun in Mythic Plus. I regret to inform you.
One right on his tail, one right in front of him, and then 2 on either side.
Another nice thing about getting
Okay,
reps
good
on a
go. I
fight
got right on his
is
tail.
it really
It's like
allows you to
you're
work on your positioning,
Okay, we're good. Stay. He whips out.
and you get to kind of play around with where is it good for me to stand
bar worm
during
versus-
this fight.
I got skull first.
Especially for marksman, which is really movement intensive, as far as like you want to move as little as possible because moving dramatically harms your ability to do damage and do your rotation. Positioning is actually huge. Learning where you can stand, where you'll just be able to fucking chill there and rotate and fucking crank out damage.
Resets the
even on
max still
movements
too.
that have comparatively
Those-
high required movement from you,
Far
there is
back.
almost always an optimal place that you can stand. And for me, at least, it's not always what I see other players that play my same class and spec do. I got a bit of a unique brain, as my mama would
Watch
say,
those feet.
so I don't always do things the optimal way, strictly speaking.
Yeah,
I do them in the optimal way for me.
Oh shit.
We have not missed anything, Disjoint. We've been getting some good reps on this boss, but we have not had any close calls so far. That being said, it does kind of feel like we are... Oh, man. Oh, I was about to say it does feel like we're about to get into a groove here, and then we wiped. Basically, the thing we got to watch out for on this fight is these
Over
worms.
your deeps, watch your dang feet.
Oh
The-
shit, sorry.
The worms got to be kicked and killed as fast as possible. There are apparently some problems with folks standing in the purple swirlies, but as I was saying while you were gone, Disjoint, one of the nice things about knowing you're doing a mechanic correctly is that when the raid leader says, hey, we're having a problem with folks not doing this mechanic correctly, you just fucking know it's not you. And that feels so fucking good. Like, yeah, some people are standing in the purple swirlies. Sucks for them. That's not happening to me. All right, there we go. I think there was a bit of a delay or a weird double ad there. It doesn't matter for Disjoint. He subbed, but that's what happens when I don't manually manage the ad break, as I was unable to do because I didn't realize I'd need to do it before that fight. That's how locked in I am to the raid. I'm not even looking over my Twitch dashboard. I'm just letting the fucking auto ad handling it. And it's handling it badly, but, you know, more's the pity.
Yeah, so this is already like semi-illegal, guys. It fucking sucks.
Do you hunters have landing ship?
Yes. But you also got to think at that time we're trying to interrupt the worms. It's kind of hard to see where do we need to binding shot at.
Right, and the velocity's actually gonna be everybody should be training themselves to attacks.
Alright, I'll do that.
Another.
Yeah, I just dropped a capacitor totem like right as it's about to pop. I dropped it right on the small cluster.
I generally try to drop the car trap down into the boss so that it'll slow him down.
Another thing that can help for the hunters that are having to do interrupts on worms and shit at range, you set it as a focus target, then you can swap off of it, and that way you can see when it's doing a cast, and you can still give your interrupts with the focus target interrupt macro.
Yeah, if you don't have a mouse over set focus macro and then a macro for your interrupt to interrupt your focus target, that's definitely a huge help. Hit me up after and I'll help you set it up if you don't have that. I use that so much.
It just makes those type of situations easier, because then you can put your focus on something else in the fight while still maintaining your interrupt target.
I appreciate little breaks in the action like this so I can actually eat my fucking dinner. This is heroic. This is Prague. I was very pleased to see, right as I was about to go live, I got a DM from our raid leader being like, hey, we're gonna try Brood Twister again with a smaller group. You want to come? We are eating a burrito, and we've already made good progress. Half brisket, half steak. And brisket is spicy. So it feels very good to get the
I can swap my spec.
the DM from the raid leader and be on the short list, be asked to
If you
come.
don't need yours just to control the big spiders, then yeah, we can just have you do odds.
I used to be a double steak guy, and I still am. I love steak, but just that combo of the two different meats is really hitting these days.
It's just for the increased damage to maintain threat on big spiders while not focusing the big spider.
Are the big spiders grippable? Okay, I didn't think they were.
Nothing.
I got it from the restaurant where I work. that's one of the reasons I sought out a food service job when I realized that I was not going to be able to find another cushy office job before I went bankrupt. I said, okay, well, we got to kind of adjust our expectations. You know, what kind of perks am I looking for in a job? And free food was way up the list. So being able to work in a spot where, like, especially where I can get protein, because, like, I'm a big guy. I'm a 6'4", 210, 208, around there. But I'm also really skinny, you know. I like to consider myself pretty fit, but I'm not exactly carrying massive cannons here. And also my job's pretty physical, if we're just being real. Like, even if you're not working out, if you work a kind of job where you, like, get sweaty and you get sore, and you do, like, heavy lifting, it's still good to be able to feed that shit. It's still really necessary to be able to say, okay, well, I'm going to get my protein. I'm going to make sure I'm able to heal up after all this work. And protein is so expensive. I was like, okay, I want a spot that I can work where I'm going to be able to get, like, a big heaping portion of protein.
Try to spread a little bit.
And so I come home from work with both a super meat burrito and also just a whole bunch of chicken. Just a whole bunch of pre-cooked chicken.
Skull. They're coming in 5.
Because when I'm getting ready for work in the morning, when I first get up, I'm not very hungry. So I have to slam protein options that go down super easy, that don't depend on me being hungry. Like whey protein, you know, just drink it down, super easy. Yogurt, again, just drink it down, super easy. And then when I'm at work, I don't feel hungry when I'm working. That's been true of any kind of job that I do. If I'm doing a desk job, if I'm working a retail job, if I'm in food service, doing something physical, when I'm at work, I'm fucking locked in. And so I just don't feel hungry ever.
Webs in 5, spread out.
And so again, when I'm at work, to be able to try and do what I can, I've got protein bars, I've got protein snacks.
Yeah, they come 4 around the box.
There are some pretty good protein cheese balls from a company called Twin Peaks that have really awesome macros, really high in protein.
Oh, you got it. Nice.
And it's basically like cereal, really. It's the same consistency as cereal, so I can just fucking chow down on that in the break room.
Yeah, next dinner up on worm.
There we go. You know about them. Fantastic.
Worm needs to interrupt.
Yeah, I would love to be a big beefy guy like you, Disjoint. That's my goal.
Another.
Like,
yeah. I'll interrupt
there
the
was a
worm,
time when
guys.
I was this exact same height, 6'4",
Yeah,
but 160 pounds. Now that was a while ago, but like I've been thin as a rail. Yeah.
Okay, get 'em. Website
I
apps
was.
there. Good steak.
That was back in my retail days when I was working a bunch of retail jobs all at once, not eating very much,
Yeah, far
super
back
duper
first.
stressed, wondered why my whole body hurt all the time. Like, well, a part of that was you weren't eating enough, Jack. You were not putting enough food in.
Interrupt next.
And then the nice thing about working in an office is it's really good to, or at least really easy to be able to get a lot of food in your system. So after a few years working my office jobs, I'd made it up to about 210 pounds, but I was absolutely skinny fat. Like,
Yes.
I was that same twig that was $160, but now I had a gut, and I hated going up flights of stairs and all that kind of shit.
Still parasites up, by the way.
And so that's when I started taking my fitness more seriously, bought the rowing machine, got the dumbbells, started getting down to work. And that was
Just
about
the
3 years
best.
ago now. And now, 3 years later, I'm back to weighing about 209, 208. I've actually lost about 10 pounds
Shit,
since I started working
right,
my
remember?
restaurant job.
Position better. We're gonna do that. And I need to fucking remember and call it, but
Parasites.
That was a
But I was able to spend my gainfully employed office job years, the remaining couple, plus my unemployed period, properly bulking, like just slamming a caloric surplus, slamming a shit ton of protein, like 300 grams a day, eating like 4 or 5 meals a day, just like really getting down to it and working out super consistently. That was pretty much the best part about being unemployed. It was really easy to just fucking work out on the regular. But that's how we got to this conversation. All that protein's expensive. And so these days I'm still hitting about 225 grams of protein a day. But that's with the help of drinking between 2 and 3 whey protein milks a day, because again, there's just whole periods of my day where I don't eat. And it is my stream time, it is my dinner time. That is when I eat my big meal. It's where I get probably about 150, 175 of those grams of protein.
I'm just gonna put it back out there, and that's why that other strap was you're dealing with 2 cents.
And I'm just trying to keep building, because that's pretty much the best part about being 6'4". You got a lot of body to put muscle on. So I could gain 10 more pounds of muscle
Everybody's blowing their,
and
cool down.
not really look any different than I do right now. Like, there's still so much that I can do.
30 seconds.
And I just wish that I had cared about this back when I was 22 and not now that I'm 38. But, you know, whatever. Better late than never. At least I know all my hormones and shit still work because I get results. Slowly, because I'm old as shit, but I get them.
That they're grouped together with everything else. You know what I mean? We don't want shit separated. We want
And there is a really satisfying agency in, like, taking control of your body in this way. Not just as far as, like, the nutrition and the working out and the appearance stuff. Like, that's all nice. But, like, this feeling of, like, now I can go up lots of stairs with ease. Now I can actually move my body and not feel sore or, like, feel like I pulled something. My back never hurts. Like,
And then another one a couple seconds after that.
that's the real bliss for me.
what I'm saying though, but if that initial stun is them separated from everything else,
All right, good.
that's not accomplishing what we want to do.
There's always that twinge of fear when the raid leader links something in the raid chat that's like meters, and it's like, oh, what are we looking at here? If it's a damage taken meter and I'm on the bottom, I'm like, sick. Yeah, that's right. Hell yeah. And that's the thing, Disjoint. Like, it's expensive to get good protein. It's expensive to eat healthy. Like, it's just more convenient to eat, you know, a little unhealthy. Not like crazy unhealthy. It does kind of take a certain amount of, like, specific decisions to eat, like, really unhealthy all the time. But as far as, like, if I worked a job like yours where I didn't get free food and so I had to account for where my food came from, I probably wouldn't be able to eat as healthy as I do because I'd have to be able to eat what I could afford. One of my biggest fitness and nutrition soapboxes is that
Here they come.
we, as in
Still there.
us
Still
Americans,
out a bit.
are not necessarily as fat as we are purely because of our own indolence, but there is an entire industry of very smart scientists, very intelligent capitalists that want to find a way to make the most tasty food in the world and then sell it to us so that we'll eat it. Like, it's a really good business model. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and invent the tastiest thing ever, and then we're gonna sell it to people to eat. Great. What's the problem? Well, the problem is it's bad for you. Oh, shit. So it's like the cigarettes
Use
problem.
next.
Yeah, but a lot slower and a lot less
They
obvious.
spread a bit in class so you don't get.
Like, some food scientist somewhere had the bright idea to say, hey, let's put sugar in the hamburger buns, dude. Like, that's gonna make the hamburger buns fucking sick. If we put sugar in those, that's gonna be great.
When do you get the back one?
Those parasites don't let it reach you.
I planted on my egg first. If somebody came up to my egg and fucking got my ass, that's not on me.
Yeah, it's gonna reach it. Jump off. You were on there. What happened? You like poured it off too early or something?
So yeah, that's specifically why I work in food service now, because I wanted to make sure that I was
That
still
monster
able to
shit
eat
hurts. I think our strap's
semi-healthy
done for now.
pretty consistently. Because that's the thing, right? Like,
We'll get it.
a big meaty burrito isn't like healthy in like the abstract, but when you look at the macros, depending what you eat throughout the day, and if you account for everything,
Pretty sure it does.
I've got room for things like cheese. Because again, I'm losing weight right now. I'm not trying to lose weight. My goal is to get big like you, Disjoint. I would love to be
Chaos.
245, 250.
If we need another
Like, that would be sick. I would love to get there, but that's going to take a lot of years of grinding out my shit,
just read it.
eating well, sleeping well, working out hard. It's not going to be easy, you know? It's going to take time.
Yeah, I told him to grab him.
But it's going to be kind of cool that there's going to be like a visual record of that now, you know?
Kind of rough level, so we probably don't want to tack on that 15.
If I keep
Yeah,
working out
anyways.
every Wednesday on stream, like what seems to rapidly be the plan moving forward, if I keep doing that, I'm going to be able to actually see a history of my shit getting even more yoked, getting even more yacked, right here on twitch.tv, where America gets its entertainment. Which is kind of true, because Twitch is not nearly as big in Asian markets like Korea or Japan, or even in Europe.
Watch those feet.
Like so many things, Twitch is inexplicably most popular here in the States. We don't call it the States, but because I watch Taliesin,
Yeah,
gosh
here
darn
comes
it,
one. Let's tell you
my
it's
brain
about
just
it.
wants to say the States. I'm talking like a British
Who's
man.
got the hell? Purple scooching a bit. Nope, right here. Okay, it's good. It's good. Stay.
Yep, super important to, once you're in the right spot, just fucking plant. Don't get squirrely. Don't waffle. I'm on an egg. Get the fuck away from me and find a different egg. That's how we'll win. I keep forgetting I have multi-shot as well. Just because in Raid I'm so accustomed to running a single target spec. There's very few fights in
Left and five, they
raids
spread a bit. Flat so you don't get.
where it makes sense to go AoE instead of single target if you're a marksman hunter. And so there are times when on raid encounters that do have my AoE talents enabled, I forget to use them. Like, oh right, yeah, I can use multi-shot here. Silly me.
Okay, I'll take part.
I will count them again when subs renew. 100%.
Worms, I can interrupt.
Yeah, next interrupt. We're
I may end up having to make that be for people that actually announce it in the chat. Like, there's a way to do that, because I'm not sure if I'll be able to consistently go and like audit the subs. But not to toot my own horn, but like a 3K row, that's kind of light work. You know,
no, the break breaker's gonna get.
a pretty grueling row
Yeah,
for
good
me
state.
would be a 6 or 7K. Like, that would be like a tough
First
fucking
interrupt
row.
on Skullworm.
So at the moment, we're not at a point where things are getting ridiculous. But if things do start getting ridiculous, then that is kind of the point, right? Like, we are doing some entertainment here. We do want to entertain.
Spread webs.
And that's something that I really appreciate about this stream, that I kind of cemented in my mind with the workout stream on Wednesday, was like, wow, like, I don't have to see these things as in opposition. I'm cutting workouts short or not working out so I can start my stream earlier
Yeah,
and get more uptime. It's like, wait a minute. I could just
Canister
do
members to
this
the
on
right,
stream
so
and start my
around
stream
red,
even earlier
right
and have a
on
banger
style here.
workout. Because of course
Goes
that feeling
and
of
then
being
to the
on
little
camera, being on
parasites
stage
and
when
the
you're working
worm egg
out,
over there.
it's gonna motivate you to go harder and to fucking look more yoked.
I got this far one over here. Either one. Yep. 20. You stay on that. Good, good, good.
Just minding my Venn diagram, sir.
I got left worm.
Exactly. Why not both?
Perfect. We're almost dead. Good shit.
If I ever get to a
Next
point where
on
these
second
numbers
floor.
are a problem, I will consider it a good problem to have.
As soon as worms are down, I'm moving boss. Alright, moving boss.
When we get to that point, there will probably be ways we can restructure the way things work to be even more interesting.
In a square, so make sure we get these 4.
Okay, same thing here. Webs and 5 stay spread a bit, and then collapse.
I'm staying spread. Don't you worry.
I got worm.
It's around the boss. Here we go.
I got worm closest to the wall. First interrupt.
This feels like it might be the urn. I feel like folks are getting it now.
Fucker just jumped at me that quick.
Get these worms. There you go.
No, we lost a couple bodies. Trying to live though. We're trying to live.
Alright, 4 in the line. One more. There we go. Okay, next.
Got a reset.
Should be-
That's awesome. Oh, I just fucking got clapped up. It's a tank mechanic. I got tank mechanics.
It's gonna be
But yeah, that's been the most rewarding part about kind of being able to do stuff on stream. It's been able to have a cumulative positive benefit in a way that I really needed. It was rough sledding for a bit there, and you know, if we're being totally honest, this sledding is still rough, but there's a lot of power mentally in having things in life to look forward to. You know, waking up and looking forward to something that day.
right now.
And that's been the best part about this stream for me. I wake up and it's like, sick, I'm gonna stream today. Or if it's the one day that I can't stream because I work late, it's sick, I'm gonna be able to spend extra time with the kiddies today. They're gonna be like, oh shit, we get to be in the house all day. Yeah. No reason to corral them
Unstable
if I'm not going
infusion, is
live.
that
They
the
can just, they can
swirls?
have the run of the place. That's perfectly fine.
Let me see.
And I'm thinking that I might actually use the kitties as my sub badges. I was thinking about it, and it's like, there's already a lot of World of Warcraft streamers, other kinds of streamers that use symbols like gold or diamonds or stuff like that, and it's like, it would be cool to center my babies in sub badges. Yes,
Yeah, I
Pacific
can't tell
time.
if unstable
And I
infusion
do
is
usually go
important or not.
live at
It's just
around
like
7 p.m.
pulsing.
7 p.m. is my
That's
like
one of
daily
our
targeted
higher
start
damage.
time. I'll start earlier if I'm able to. Like, I'm usually off work on Wednesdays and
And the vial
Saturdays, right?
discharges
So
the avoidable
that's
circles,
why
I think, right?
Wednesday makes a good workout day. And I usually try and start that workout at like 4
It's
p.m.,
part of
4:30
the-
p.m.,
the
somewhere
games
around there.
where it's wall
Pacific time,
face.
obviously. But often during the week,
I think it's while he's
between
active.
working
It's
my
just like
civilian
the
job and
waves
also
we
streaming,
take.
I
That
accrue
doesn't
things that I have to
sort
get
of
done on my off days. So sometimes, like this past Saturday, I will still just go live at 7 as usual. But that is like my typically consistent streaming window of like 7 p.m. to midnight, sometimes later, sometimes earlier. Like tonight, for example, I got short stream in the title, so I'm going to have to call it at pretty much 10 p.m. my time, around there, I think. But that was one of the things that I said I was going to really focus on as soon as I got that big boost from Taliesin. I'm going to try to stream really consistently. Be live at the same time every day as much as possible.
I'm about to switch over to the Farseer. I'm about to switch over to the Farseer because
And nice folks like you just joined have made that even easier to commit to, because now that I actually know there's going to be an audience here waiting for me, it's like, sick, I got to get on. I can't be dilly-dallying.
Yeah, group by the boss.
As soon as your web bomb goes off,
staying close right by boss when webs is about to come. Just scatter a bit. Some of the melee especially are just staying like right under his, right under the boss. You gotta get out a little bit when web's coming. Then obviously if you get it, go further out. If not, you're collapsed right back under the boss.
And I haven't checked on Liquid yet today,
And
but
obviously if we're really
on this particular
tight, you
raid
need to be careful
encounter,
with
I want to make sure I'm able to focus on the raid calls, even if I feel really locked in and know what I'm doing. Like, there are some raid encounters where I just never have to listen to raid calls. Like, because of the way the raid encounter works, as long as I do my shit correctly, there will never be a single raid call that really matters to me personally. But on a fight like this, where there's so many moving parts, I do have to kind of make sure that I'm not getting my raid chatter mixed up with Max's chatter. They're doing great. I love hearing that. I'm a maximum Liquid fan, man. I like the Potty C. I like Max's stream content, and he's a cool fucking guy. I'm a fan. I don't know much about the actual guild of the people in it, but as like the face of the guild, and I guess the face of the org, right? Because what's Liquid really doing besides this? I think Max fucking cool as hell.
eggs by him.
Something that I've said a lot of times recently is that one of the cooler things about streaming
Web's coming.
and digital content creation as it exists like right now in this moment is it is pretty possible for dudes to find pretty awesome male role models. Like, there are people out there in their 20s, even in their teens, that like watch Taliesin, and he's a great fucking male role model. And there's a bunch of people that watch Max, and I think he's a fucking great fucking male role model. Like, this is how I know I'm getting old, that I fucking care about that kind of thing. But like,
I got backworm.
I do think it's really cool.
Good.
That there are awesome male role models to be found. Now, obviously, the algorithm and many other things conspire to put other not awesome male role models in the mix. But that's kind of always been the case.
That's how
No matter what the media has been,
you're going with blood.
there's never been a shortage of bad male role models. Mostly because they're very profitable. It's easy to make a lot of money on bad role models. Holy fuck.
Or around him.
But with the rise of streaming and social media, it does make it possible to happen upon, to chance upon a good male role model, or 3, or 10. They're out there.
Oh yeah. Or I got next on school.
I do the same thing when I'm not streaming Disjoint. I've got multiple streams going. That's why I have this 3-monitor setup. And let me tell you, the setup isn't done. It's just paused because, I lost that cushy, well-paying job. That'll put a pause on a lot of things. Like, I want more displays.
Watch those feet.
I want a TV up there for a big display. Like, I'm not done making my back cave, no question.
Yeah, everyone's coming up tight to his ass.
And it would be sick as hell to be able to have 3 or even 4 streams going out of the corner of my eye while I'm also playing. Like, that's how brain broken I am. I fucking love Twitch streams specifically. I've tried watching YouTube streams. Like, I've given them the old college try, and I just can't. It's just not the same. And it's not even like a Coke and Pepsi thing. Like, I can remember the first time that I had a Pepsi, my genuine reaction was like, what the fucking hell? People drink this garbage?
That's rough.
I did the best I could. I have but one kick to give. But it wasn't like undrinkable, right? Like when I drink Pepsi now, I think of like
Boysenburst got off.
a pool party at a gated neighborhood, right? Like you're going over to like a friend's relative house. They live in a gated community. They have like a really nice pool. So you and all the homies are going there. And you get there and what do they got to drink? They got fucking Pepsi, dude. And it's like, well, I guess we're drinking this. Less pretentious, I'd say more inconvenient but acceptable, right? Like when you ask for Coke and they say, is Pepsi okay? Like, no, it's fucking not. I asked for Coke, but it's fine. Like, it's fine. It'll be fine. Same deal where you go to the gated community to use the pool and it's like, well, we got Pepsi. Like, well, and that's the thing, right? I don't hate you for preferring Pepsi. That would be kind of awkward.
I felt like I was
But
taking a lot more damage
for me,
attacking.
it's just not my bag. And that's really what it comes down to. For me, I'm always seeking my own personal maximum enjoyment. So for me, I just can't get on the Pepsi train. But there's a lot of things out there that people like that I don't like, as far as like diet sodas. I don't like those. Zero sugar sodas. I don't like those. I've kind of long come to accept. There we go. We can actually come to an accord, like the Predator handshake. I am also a Dr. Pepper connoisseur.
I'm early deaths were just.
It is no longer made with prune
Look
juice.
damage, guys.
That is an urban myth. But it's my favorite thing to claim is true about
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper, that it's just prune juice. Because I love Dr. Pepper, and I love the idea of convincing people that it is just prune juice. But I have never had a kind of regular Dr. Pepper soda, so none of the diet or zero sugar varieties, just like any of the various flavors. I've never had a Dr. Pepper flavor that I didn't absolutely fucking love. See, and that's a benefit for you, Disjoint, because you like zero sodas, you have this whole world of flavor open to you that I fully and humbly acknowledge is closed to me, you know. But that's why I embrace the lack of flavor in my world. That's why I say, damn right, I like LaCroix, because there is barely a hint of any flavor there whatsoever. And god damn it, that's how I like it. Give me just a little crumb of flavor. Give me the suspicion of a flavor. I'm there. That sounds fucking awesome, dude.
Too close for healing.
I think I've used this comparison before, but it's like when you get ice water with lemon in a restaurant, and the amount of lemon they give you is just like not enough to lemonize the water, right? Like you're asking for the lemon because you definitely want the lemon in there, but like there's just not going to be enough lemon to lemonize that water. So you're going to squeeze that lemon in there, and it's going to be just the vaguest hint of lemon. And I think that tastes so fucking good. That's my shit. And this applies to a lot of stuff that I enjoy. Like when it comes to beers, I really don't like IPAs. Like I don't like really hoppy beers.
Purple webs next.
I like stouts. I like ales. I like spicy beers. I like a lot of different kinds of beer, but I do not like IPAs.
Yeah, the circle's coming.
I don't like
Pigs.
Sierra Nevada. It tastes like
I
fucking
got
pine
back.
cones. I like Sam Adams. Hard to find a version of Sam Adams I don't like. You know, they're all pretty good. But I like their red ale the best. That's so fucking good. And like when it comes to liquors, you know,
Spread
I've tried to enjoy
parasites.
all kinds of hard liquors. Like, but especially after getting to really get into wine for a while, back when I was a bit bougie, back when I had the money to sling around for that, I just prefer wine to liquor. I just prefer wine to
Fill you
spirits,
back.
straight up. There's not a single kind of spirits that I would
Yeah, the pour on either side.
prefer
or
to
join either
wine.
side of him.
And I know for some people, wine is like
Go.
guaranteed hangover. For me, that's
Hey.
tequila. Even though I love margaritas. Oh my god, margaritas so
First
good.
center up on skull.
But again, like that's a margarita. That's not just a straight spirit. And the salt and lime are doing a lot of heavy lifting on that one for me. I like a margarita on the rocks with a ton of salt on the rim, like an unhealthy amount of salt on the rim. That's my mixed drink of choice 100%.
Red webs.
Like pretty much a lot of the stuff that I like is,
You get a freedom for boss.
at least this is the way that I would put it, it's Sour Patch Kids coated. And what I mean by that is like you eat a Sour Patch Kid and it's like, woo, that's some flavor. And it's like, yeah, that's my shit. I either want that or I want the exact opposite of that, like with the LaCroix. I either want that flavor all the way there or I want fucking nothing.
One right under his tail currently, and then the two by red.
And that's kind of what's nice about wine. Like, if you want a wine that's got a lot to say,
Tail, triangle up there. Yes.
if you want a wine that's got a lot to say, then all you got to do is drink a red. And if you want a wine that's cool and crispy, all you got to do is drink a white. There's some variance there, like some of that doesn't always hold, but like that's pretty much always true.
Good job, Hills. Parasites. Some parasites popped up.
There we go. I actually am somewhat of a screwdriver enjoyer myself, but vodka is another one of those spirits that really fucks me up and gets me hungover as hell. Like that's the thing, like
Webs coming
there
this
are a
way.
lot of mixed drinks that I enjoy. There really isn't anything straight that I would love more than a mixed drink. But without fail, whether it's scotch or whiskey or gin or vodka or rum or mezcal or like we could just go down the whole list. I've tried them all. There was a day when I turned 21 and the very next thing I did was I went to Beverages and More and I got to work going down every aisle trying everything in the store at least once just to be able to see if it was my shit.
Parasites finish him up.
So I've tried all the liquors, and there are ways to make them yummy, but there's not a way to make me not regret it in the morning. There just isn't a way to do that. But with wine,
Kill the parasites.
with wine, I can kill an entire
Here we go.
bottle
Pour on either side of him.
and then keep going.
There we go.
Like 2 bottles
Good
is a bit much for me, and that's also a liter and a half of wine, so that's kind of not surprising. But I've got endurance for wine. I get drunk early and stay like coherent and fun as hell. Like
Heartworm.
wine is my spirit of choice because it just agrees with me the most. And this is all just a really long-winded way of me saying disjoint. That's kind of how I look at you liking Pepsi and me liking Coke and you liking Zeros and me liking LaCroix. Like, certain brains just want certain things. And what I want in this world is for every brain
Here
to
comes
get the thing that it wants the most.
That's right.
Okay, we're gonna move. We'll finish the spider on the way over. Nice.
We are, after all,
Tight.
His feet.
Watch your feet.
only on this miraculous planet for a short time. And while there was once a time when scarcity of resources meant some suffering was required, we really do live in an age where there is so much abundance that we needn't suffer. And we needn't be without the stuff that we would like to be able to truly have fulfilling lives. I'm not saying they should nationalize the LaCroix company and make
Parasites.
giving everyone LaCroix a national right or anything. But, you know, there are ways to allocate resources that ensure that everyone can have a LaCroix if they want one. Yeah, they can just have it, man. Nice. Catch you at home, Disjoint. We'll pick this up when you get back. Well, actually, if I'm being really real, I'll probably just keep riffing while you're gone, and then I'll update you when you get back.
Just getting overrun. People got infected.
Because the more I stream, the more I just start yapping.
There was no
I-
words that.
I definitely did this before I had viewers. I've talked about how I talked to myself, and that was how I knew I had to start streaming. But even when I knew I had no one in the chat, I would still just yap. But now that I have people in the chat sometimes, and I've said on stream that I don't keep a viewer count open, so I don't inadvertently focus on that. So I don't know who's in my chat now at any given time. Now that I know some people may be coming through, now that I know there may be people in that chat, I'm always yapping. I got yappinitis. All right, let's check on those liquid boys. Let's check on those boys. I think I'm locked in. I think I'm officially locked in.
We're dealing with everything else.
That's a 30% wipe. I think we're good.
Okay, I'm back.
Obviously, last
Taking my creatine.
All good.
potion. That was my last potion. Mana tide got back 15%.
Someone drop out. I don't know.
That pushback circle would be really good. What class does that? A green circle on the ground? Monk? Yeah, that would be helpful probably with those parasites.
It's talking about Circle of Peace. Ring of Peace.
Anybody have any spare mana potions on them by chance? It's level 2 ones. Once. I'll take them. Level 25 ones.
I'll make you a bunch and send them to you.
I can make them myself.
Oh, gotcha.
Do you have another beast?
I do. Yep. Space down.
Feast down has been called.
Need more blasts as well.
No, we should have
No.
2. So we've recovered for right now.